So I remember it was March 12th where I was sitting in a movie theater with my husband, and I got the phone call from work that we were not going to be going back for a week. And then a week turned into 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And the next thing you know, it was an entire month, and we had not returned back to work because of the situation that we're going through as a world. So I knew that I really had to make some changes in my routine because I really didn't feel like I was being successful and being organized and getting tasks done. So I hope that this video will help you. So basically in this video, I'm just going to be sharing with you some of the tips that I've used to keep sane. I'm an extrovert at heart, and I need to also be completing tasks throughout the day to feel successful. So I'm just going to share with you a little bits and pieces of my day and how I feel like I've been trying to keep organized and keeping a set routine. So basically every morning I'll wake up at 6:30. I try to keep to the same schedule that I did when I was actually going into work in person. And then I'll come downstairs while everybody's still sleeping. I'll have some coffee, and then while I'm drinking my coffee, I'll have some kind of devotional time, prayer, reading the Bible. And this just sets my brain in the right path. I try to be quiet, go upstairs. And this is the time where I change into some clothes that are slightly uncomfortable, not too uncomfortable, just so that I feel more productive versus just wearing lounge clothes, like if I were watching Netflix or something like that. Oh my gosh, that was my dog. I wasn't expecting him. He usually stays with my daughter, so that freaked me out a little bit. Anyway, we're good. So I don't go overboard with makeup. I just put enough just to be presentable because I am going to be teaching online every day. So students are going to see me up and close. So I try to put something, some blush and powder. And this is usually how I look. And then after I finish getting dressed, I'm ready to start teaching. And I teach online I have the hours 7 through 9 blocked out to teach children in China through the VIP Kid program. And it's wonderful. I'm learning about a new culture. They're learning about my culture. And it just keeps me into that routine of teaching, which I miss so much. So this has been a wonderful opportunity. Once I'm finished teaching, then I switch over into office mode. I put my materials away. And this is where I realize, okay, in order for me to be successful, I really need to clean up the clutter. I noticed in the beginning of quarantine, my place was a mess. Everything was all over the place because I was always go with work and YouTube and everything. So I really highly suggest that you organize and declutter your area. And I also I suggest doing that on your computer as well, because it really helps make your brain productive. I don't know what that saying is. If you have a clean space, then you're more productive. So once I do that, during the beginning of quarantine, I made a to-do list of every single thing that I want to accomplish. And then what I did is I took a couple of those things and I would insert them for certain days in the calendar. And I would also make monthly goals, whether it's with exercise and just different things that I want to do. But then I noticed I would say, okay, I'm going to work on a video, but then I wouldn't feel successful because I didn't get to finish every aspect of making a video. So instead of just write a video, then I make each task that I want to do, I break that into smaller tasks. So for a YouTube video, I have script a video, film a video, and as I finish them, I will cross them off, and that way I feel more successful. And this may sound like I'm going a little overboard, but I also have an electronic version of my calendar, but it's not with all the specifics. It's more blocks of time and what is the task, the general task. So my day is divided by the meals, exercising, VIP Kid, teaching my students online, and those types of activities. So they're not as specific as the ones that are on my physical calendar. And this one is linked with my husband's phone, so that way he knows what I'm doing for the day. Then it's time for me to teach my actual students that I've been teaching throughout the academic year, and I touch base with them throughout the week, and I have office hours so that I'm available to support them and help them as they meet their language goals. Once I'm finished with that, then it's time for lunch, and I haven't seen my daughter or my husband all day, so it's a nice way for me to connect with them. My daughter is also going through online school, and it's been a challenge switching from being in school in person and so forth. And my husband, he's with me most days, but sometimes he gets called to go into work. But I have to admit, it's been really nice having each other together. Versus usually during the summers, I'm usually doing my own thing by myself while my husband's at work. My advice to you is to associate finishing lunch and then going outside. I've been doing this, and this really does ensure that I do go outside, because in the beginning of quarantine, after lunch, I would go back into doing office work, and I would never go outside because I would get so into what I was doing. So lunch was like that transition, if you will, and it really helps me because I feel like it clears my mind, and if it's a good day, I definitely make sure I go outside and get some fresh air, and I'll go with my husband, my daughter, or by myself, but I make sure I'm moving. And if it's a bad day, I'll just do a workout on YouTube at my house. But I highly, highly recommend this. It makes such a difference. After that, I'll go in, take a quick shower, and then it's off to going back into office work. And this is where I edit a video, or I'll work on other aspects of my side business. And for you, that could be a myriad of things, but anything that requires mental energy that you're putting on, maybe is a house project that you're working on. But the second half of my day is I'm focusing on editing a video, and this is a time where I check in with my daughter to see how she's doing with her schoolwork for the day. And it just really helps just to have this time where, with no distractions, I put my phone in a separate room, and that way I make sure I really get everything done. Usually about 2:30, 3 o'clock-ish, I'll hit a slump. So I'll switch gears from something mental to something productive, but it gets me out of the office. And so for you, that could be different things. So just think about what's something that you could do that's productive, but doesn't require a lot of mental energy. Then I'm back to editing again. And once I'm finished, I try to be really good about stopping at 4:30. I don't always get to do that, but I'll stop at 4:30 so I can start prepping dinner. And one of my hobbies during quarantine has been to look up different Instapot recipes on YouTube, follow them, and it has been such a time saver for my family and myself, and I feel like I'm happier because I'm not spending hours cooking meals. After we eat, then we usually play some kind of game, or we do some type of family activity, which is really nice because it gets us together again and just having fun. And we usually check in with my daughter to make sure she's gotten her work done for the day. And the reason why I really try to keep to this schedule is that I try to reward myself at the end of the day. And some days in the week, I reconnect with my friends online, which has been so wonderful. But wherever you are, if you're alone, or if you have to go into work, or if you've lost your job, just know that will get better. This is a really difficult season, but whatever you do, make sure that you keep safe and that you stay safe, stay home, and just try to know that there's going to be a better tomorrow. And I'll see you next week.